Well, good morning, Las Vegas. How is everybody doing at 90.3 FM? And we are getting ready. So, heck of a way to start out the new year. Didn't have my iRig plugged into the iPad. So, I just all I can do is offer my apologies to you this morning for not having everything set up as we get our program started. So good morning, good morning. It is a Thursday morning, the first day of January 2026. How is everybody doing out there? They were shooting it up last night about 11:45 or so. I'm telling you, somebody, I hear that bullets are real expensive right about now. And somebody, if it was not fireworks, I mean, I'm not the expert when it comes down to the difference between, I mean, I know what I used to know a lot about M80s and Black Cats and stuff like that. So this one sounded like if it was more than just an M80 or two that were being shot off. But we had it in our area. I hear it's dangerous for you to be shooting up and around the area. But hey, once a year, take your chances, I guess, is what you do. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is, as I told you already, a Thursday, the first day of 2026. How was everybody's evening last night? We had a good turnout. We had a lot of food. I had to finally break my evening fast and get into some what do they call those jalapenos wrapped in bacon stuff? Yeah, poppers. Yeah, them poppers are pretty good. Anyway, good morning, good morning. Ernie Padilla with us from the West Coast. Wishing everybody Feliz Año Nuevo. And then we have Jody also telling everybody good morning. As we get started in, what are we, the 36th, the 37th chapter of the book of Genesis. So let's give, if we might have a new listener out there, Jody, you just never know, some information. lvcornerstone.com is where you can connect up to our church page and also to connect up to our Facebook or YouTube channel. We also have a phone number, 505-454-9527. If you can't get a hold of us, well, if you can connect with us on YouTube or Facebook, you're having problems, that might be one way. I had a guy come in, I was telling you yesterday, a couple of days ago, who wants to start his own podcast, doesn't know where to start, doesn't know, looking for us. I said, let me show you what I got. Jody should be the guy that should be showing him, and Jody's nephew even better than that, how to get started and get all that stuff done. But the burrito man, Jody, wants to be on. He's going to be in the movies. Anyway, prayer and input line, KLYN903 at gmail.com. On this first day of 2026, we are live in studio, and we are going to look at a chapter this morning that I tried setting up at the end of yesterday's program. So can we go back just a little bit, and can we talk about Esau and Jacob, because Esau is going to be the main character of the 36th chapter of the book of Genesis. So in talking about that, we'll bring up the Bible for you on a program that I use called eSword, which I like eSword. Encourage you people, if you don't have a Bible program that you're using all the time, you can download eSword, whether it is a Windows, Apple device, or even a Android. They have programs on eSword for all of those now. It used to be just Windows, and then they opened it up to Apple, and then they went over to the Android. And whether you have an Apple computer or an iPad, or even they have a light version for Apple phones, and they have Android phone. I mean, just you can get it. You can get it, and it is something that I choose to use to all the way. Anyway, Anyway, let's get into this. We're talking about Esau today. Is going to Jacob and Esau, twin brothers. We've been through the contention. We've been through the strife. We've been through the more than the wagging of the fingers. There's been more than innuendo going between Esau and Jacob. There's actually been threats between Esau and Jacob. And this has been going on since the beginning, as we all well know. And then Jacob comes back after being gone for 20 plus years. And Esau just lets bygones be bygones, and we're okay. Esau and Jacob are okay. So we get into this chapter, and what we're looking at, the first verse tells us, this is the genealogy of Esau, who is Edom. Now, the name Edom comes from the red stew that he ate when he gave up his birthright. And Edom means red. Okay? So you're going to look at at Esau, and then you're going to look at Edom, and I want you to know it's the same guy. I mean, look at you guys. Okay? You have two names. Jody, I don't even know what your middle name is. I don't even know if Jody's your first name or not. Ernie? Man, I should know Ernie's name. I've heard him. But we all, my name, Jacob Mark Size. Okay? So it was Esau, Edom, son of Isaac. Two names that they'd given him. So when we're looking at Esau in the rest of the Bible, you might come across the word Edomites. Edomite is still the name referring to the brother of Jacob. So let's look real quick at some of the promises. And I think we were here yesterday in the 27th chapter. Here is the promises that Isaac was praying, prophesying over Jacob. Therefore, may God give you the dew of the heaven, the fatness of the earth, a plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you. Those two verses encompass a lot. They really do. Then Esau, Edom, wants a blessing too. And his father in the 39th verse of the 27th chapter says, behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass when you become restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck. Okay, so that's just setting up, excuse me here, that is setting up where we are at. Let's see if I have it right there. Oh, I do. In the 36th chapter of the book of Genesis. And we're looking now at the genealogy. Okay? What did Esau do? We know what Jacob did. We know that Jacob had 4 wives. We know that Leah had 6 sons. We know that her servant, concubine, had 2 of Jacob's sons. We know that Rachel had 2 sons, and that her concubine had 2 sons, which gave us a 12 total, plus the daughter to go along with it. So he comes back with 13 children. Now, how about Esau? What's going on with Esau? This is the genealogy of Esau, who is Edom. There was going to be contention, and there still even is today. Happy New Year, Flo. Ooh, of course it would be your dad's name, Jody. Good one. Now, it would be, see, Jacob, just Jody and I are going to have a little conversation here. My father's name was Jacob, and Jody's father's name was Arturo, so he was named after his dad, and I was named after my dad, too. Just to throw it out there. I think that's pretty cool on this New Year's 2026. Anyway, There's always going to be contention. The history is, and we'll be in this one of these days, we're going to be seeing a lot about Esau, and we're going to be hearing it many times using the name Edom, Edomites. When Moses is coming back with the people from Egypt, they're going to come up to the border of the Edomites, and Moses is going to ask permission to come through the land of Edom. Okay? And I want you to know this because you say, oh, yeah, that's Esau's land. And I mean, we're talking about generations later. And Moses is going to want to come through the land and make it a short, go through it instead of going all the way around. And the Edomites aren't going to let him. And the Lord's going to tell him, don't lift a finger against the Edomites. They're your family. A little bit different. Now, we're going to look at a lot of names today. I'm going to try to pronounce them the best that I can. And some of these names you might hear later on in the scriptures, because a lot of times it's the name of a person that becomes a name of a town, that becomes the name of a tribe, that becomes an area, and we might. So you might say, well, what's the big deal with all of these names that are going on? We'll find out. Good morning, Flo. How's he doing this morning, Miss Flo? Doing okay? So Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan. Now remember, did Jacob take his wives from the daughters of Canaan? And we say no. We remember that Rebekah came to Isaac and said, we got to send this boy away. We can't let him marry the daughters of Canaan. Why? Because what happened was when Esau took the wives of the daughters of Canaan, they brought their idolatry, their religion with them, and affected Esau. And that's part of the reason why. Now Jacob comes back. And remember, I think it was yesterday's program that he says, put your earrings, take your earrings off and all those idol symbols that you have, and he buries them by the terebinth tree there in Shechem. But Esau, and let's go historically now that I'm on a rabbit trail. Solomon is going to bring wives in from different places, and they're going to affect his heart. Ahab, one of these days, and one of the latter kings, Solomon's one of the earlier kings. Ahab, one of the latter kings in the history of Israel, was going to bring Jezebel in. So when we see that Esau took his wives, you have to realize, and I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot be open to the kingdom of darkness. There's the devil would love to bring mixture into your life. Abraham, promises from God. Isaac, promises from God. Has two sons, Esau and Jacob. And really what you're going to find out is that Esau turned into an idolater. Jacob kind of messed with it a little bit, and then God says, okay, son, my side or not. And when God begins to speak like that, that's why the first commandment, the most important commandment, is love the Lord your God with all your heart. Okay? And it goes on and on and on. All your mind, all your strength, all your soul, with everything that you have. Another thing that says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not upon your own understanding. Esau was one of those who brought, and let me tell you about mixture. Mixture, sooner or later, what it's going to do, it's going to overtake, and before you know it, you don't even know who you are, where you came from, what you believe in, or anything like that. And there's a lot of mixture that is going on. Esau's story is that he allowed mixture to come in. He brought the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Olabama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. So he has 3 wives. Well, that's not bad. Old Jacob had 4 wives. Yeah, I understand that. And I'm not going to try to make an excuse for either one of them. You wouldn't get by in the United States of America with stuff like that. But we're not in the United States of America. We're in Canaan land, probably. Well, I can tell you more or less where we're at. About 4,000 years ago. Just average it out. Okay. Oh, no. BC 1729. So add 2025 to 2026 now to that, and you get a little bit of where we are in the time. So that just helps you out over there and say, this was a long time ago. But mixture came into Esau's life. Ladies and gentlemen, my people, we cannot allow mixture. We have to serve the Lord with all our heart, with all our strength, with all our mind, with everything that we have, and we have to make a decision that that's what we're going to do. And notice where mixture has tried to creep into your life. Have you allowed it or not? So you don't think, you say, well, I read the chapter, man, there's nothing here. Oh, yeah, there's something there if you know the story. So he has 3 wives. Ada, Aholibamah, that's the best I can do on that one, and Basemath. Now, Ada, okay, his first wife, bore Eliphaz to Esau, and Basemath bore Reuel. So these are the 2 Canaanite wives, and really Basemath isn't a Canaanite. Basemath, remember, why did Basemath, the 3rd wife of Esau, why did he pick Basemath? The Bible tells us that he tried to please his father by getting something different. Let's see if I can find that for us real quick. These are the names of the generations. So Esau, verse 9, chapter 28, book of Genesis, says, so Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife in addition to the wives he had. Okay? So her name here is Basemath. And he went over there and he says, the sister of Nebajoth. He says, I'm going to make my dad happy and I'm going to marry one of those different women, but it wasn't. It was still, it was a virus is what it is. You invite a virus in, or you don't really invite them in, but I mean, you do anyway, and you become an Ahab. You become a Solomon. So, moving on, or else I don't want to spend 2 sessions on Genesis chapter 36 unless there's something there, and I think we've discovered something there, and I better play a song, and we better get us to the bottom of the hour.
When I think I'm going under, part the water slow.
Weather report coming up in 2.5 minutes.
When I feel the waves around me calm the sea. When I cry for help, oh, hear me, Lord, and hold out your hand. Touch my life, still the raging storm in me. I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender voice
31 minutes after the hour on this Thursday morning. Conflicting temperatures here in Las Vegas, New Mexico, depending on which source that you're looking at. But here's your weather report for today. Looking for a high of 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. A slight chance of sprinkles after 11 o'clock this morning. West wind 10 to 15, increasing 15 to 20 this afternoon. Tomorrow, slight chance of sprinkles before 11 o'clock in the morning with sunny skies, high near 57 degrees. West wind 15 to 20, increasing 20 to 25 with winds as high as 35 miles per hour tomorrow. And then on Saturday, sunny, high near 60 degrees, light and variable wind becoming 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. And maybe we'll see Jody this Saturday for men's breakfast. Yes, maybe he'll be in town. I don't know whether he will or not, but he knows that the door is always open for him. Good morning, Leroy. Good morning, Joe Gentry. Good morning, Jennifer, and everybody else who has joined us already. So, we're looking at the 36th chapter of the book of Genesis. Let's do this before Flo rebukes me. I don't want to start the year off with the eyes, Flo. So anyway, we're looking, and the mixture. The Esau's life was all about mixture. He had the same root. He had the same upbringing that his brother had. But it comes down to the decisions that we make. It comes down to the seed that we sow is going to determine the harvest that we're going to get. And do you want the wheat and the tares together? Well, that's what you're going to get. And that's what Esau got. Esau got the wheat and the tares together. And I know it's talking about the end times, and that's the way this world is. There's wheat and there's tares. You know, some guy, in fact, this guy that I was talking about earlier looked at me and says, "Do you think Trump is a Christian?" Oh, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's not my call. That's somebody else. That's a bigger. Now, Ada bore Eliphaz to Esau, and Basemath to bore Reuel. So we have two sons of Esau. Are we going to see these guys later? Are we going to hear about them? What are they going to do? Let's find out. Aholabama. Okay. Now Basemath. Ada, first wife. Okay. And Basemath, the third wife, the one from Ishmael. Ishmael was, where was Ishmael? Was Ishmael a son of, wasn't it brother to Isaac, Ishmael, son of Abraham? Anyway, so we have this people, we started off with Abraham. Then it goes to Isaac. They have children, all this stuff. It took them a long time for some of them to have children, but they had children, and then their children had children. And what's going to happen to them? Aholabama bore Jeush, Jaalam, and Korah. These were the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Then Esau took his wives. Now, let's real quick, let's go to the last verse of the previous chapter. So Isaac breathed his last and died, and gathered to his people, being old and full days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. So once again, they buried the hatchet. They bury the old man to go along with it. He's not the hatchet, but the strife that was amongst them. And now Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the persons of his household. Remember that there is a prophecy over Esau. The dew of heaven, the strength of the earth, something like that is what the promise was to Esau. He's going to be a man that's going to wield the sword. His brother is going to be in a higher state over him. There is a lot of judgment surrounding Edom in the Bible. Isaiah 34 talks about one reference, okay? The Schofield Bible has a lot of cross references when it comes to but Esau. So he takes wives, he has sons, he has daughters, he has a promise from God. It's not the ideal, but God's going to protect all the persons in his household, his cattle, his animals, all his goods which he had gained in the land of Canaan. He went to a country away from the presence of his brother Jacob. That's the part that I wanted you to see. He has wives, so does his brother, his twin brother. He has sons, so does his twin brother. Daughters, yes. Persons of his household, yes. Cattle and all his animals, yes. Goods which he had gained, yes. Now, what happens is that Esau, the same way that Lot separated away from Abraham, he went to a country away from the presence of his brother Jacob, for their possessions were too great for them to dwell together, and the land where they were strangers could not support them because of their livestock. The blessings in Esau's life, the blessing in Israel, we don't call him Jacob too much anymore, at least we shouldn't, but anyway, the blessings have come down on both of them. God has been faithful to his word like he always is if we understand it properly and we wait for the harvest to come. These people have harvested, and it gets to the place kind of like we told you already, like Abraham and Lot, where he said, man, the land can't support us here. Which way do you want to go? And Lot went up to the hill and says, well, that's the place I want. I want over there by the Jordan, over there by Sodom and Gomorrah. Esau, same thing. Esau says, I'm separating away from you, brother. Economically, we can't coexist here just in this side of the Jordan. I'm going to go to the other side of the Jordan. I'm going to go to the other side of the Salt Sea, also known as what do they call it? The sea, the Dead Sea. For their possessions were too great for them to dwell together, and the land where they were strangers could not support them because of their livestock. We don't want to be We don't want our shepherds to be fighting against each other. Who's going to get the good grass and who's not going to get? Who's going to get the water? Who's not going to get the water? So Esau dwelt in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So if I'm repeating myself about Esau and Edom too much, so is Genesis chapter 36. For some reason or another, it wants you to know that it's Esau, Edom, son of Isaac. Jacob, Israel, son of Isaac. Now, this is the genealogy of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. We've separated away. We can't. This land is too big. I mean, our possessions are too big, so we're going to have to separate. The land won't support us. We're moving on. We'll be right there. We're just moving down the block is all we're kind of doing. And I don't think I have a map. I don't think I have anything that would, maybe this will help us out a little bit. Maybe we're going to get lucky. I doubt it, but let's talk about the southern part of it. Edomites. See where the Dead Sea is? Okay. Here's Canaan land. Okay. Way up there, but here's the Judah, which is the southern part of Canaan land, and up. And here's where the Philistines are at, and there's where the Edomites, according to this map. Okay. I think it's a little inaccurate. I think it should be a little bit more to the east, but what's a little bit? And these were the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau. Reuel, the son of Basemath, the wife of Esau. Haven't we read that someplace? Yeah, but in about third verse or so we read it. Now, Eliphaz, okay, who was Esau, Edom's son from his first wife, has his sons, Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. So you're going to have to be a little keen to these names because you might come across them down the line. And you might be able to say, oh, I think that we could trace that. Is it possible? All the way to Esau, Edom. Now, Timnah, okay, was the concubine of Eliphaz. So Eliphaz, being the son of Edom, had a concubine. Her name was Timnah. Esau's son was Eliphaz, and she bore Amalek and Eliphaz. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. Now, to me, here is something that stands out big time. You say, okay, who is Basemath, and who is Teman, who is Zepho? That sounds like a lighter that we used to use to get now. Who? But there's one where who is Amalek? Well, apparently Amalek is direct lineage in Edom's genealogy. A son of Eliphaz, okay, by, according to Smith's dictionary, there it is there on the bottom right, concubine Timnah, grandson of Esau, chieftain of Edom. We are going to see this name, Amalek, and we're going to hear a lot about the Amalekites further down the road. We might not hear much about Basemath, Teman, Gatam, Kenaz. We might. But Amalek, you better know. And I want you to say, because we're going to be back here one of these days in the 36th chapter of Genesis, reminding you that Amalek comes from Esau. And the apple don't fall too far from the tree. There was mixture in Esau's life that turned into outright hatred in Amalek's life. You're going to see it. Don't forget, one of these days. I mean, it's going to be way down the road. Okay, you want to know more? Let's see see if anybody else has more on some grandson, mother, Hornite tribe was descendant. Okay, it doesn't give us a lot. Well, this one does give us a lot about the Amaleks and what's going to happen with the Amaleks. Let's see if George is helping me out there or not on that. We can't read. That's where your picture is. We can't read that. Okay. All right. Sorry. I could turn off the picture. Maybe that would help. Okay. Boom. You don't want to do it. You want to do this by yourself. I want you to do this by yourself. Going to take me too much time. Okay. So the Amalekites, you're going to see them in the Book of Judges. You're going to see them. Oh, you're going to see a lot about the Amalekites. 2 Samuel, you're going to see a lot about the Amalekites. And you're going to say, well, who are these? Oh, I remember. I know who the Amaleks are. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. These were the sons of Reuel. Okay, so the other son from another wife, Reuel from Basemath, has Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Mizah. These were the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. And remember, Basemath was from the line of Ishmael, thinking that he was going to please his father. These were the sons of Aholibamah, I guess the middle wife, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anah. So she was the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon. She bore to Esau Jeush, Jaalam, and Korah. Now, you say, okay, we got that picture. Well, why are we going to repeat it all over again? Because now some of them are going to become tribal leaders. That's where we get into verse 15. Morning, Kathleen. These were the chiefs of the sons of Esau. And please keep in mind that the mixture has... Now, does the mixture have to determine the result of the sons that are coming? No. But it's pervasive in the lineage of Esau, Edom, that the mixture is going to turn further away from covenant that Yahweh has than closer. Now, I have a feeling that the Bible says that they're going to come back around and that God is going to do something incredible. So stay tuned. It's not the end. We haven't seen the end of this yet. Don't cut them off. Don't cut them off in your theology. Don't cut them off in your eschatology, because God can do something that'll blow your minds and just sit everybody back on their heels and say, I can't believe it. These were the chiefs. Okay, now the verse 15, the chiefs, sons of Esau. Eliphaz was his oldest son. He was a chief. The firstborn of Esau. Okay, were Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, and Chief Kenaz. So these guys did something with their lives. Korah, Gatam, Amalek. These were the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. They were the sons of Adah. So they're kind of grouping them together and say, okay, here's the sons, the chiefs that came out of Esau's lineage from his wife Adah, and these guys were chiefs. Some of the names we've looked at already, some names that we've looked at already are not going to be here because they weren't chiefs. Tommy, good morning. So Jody has there on the comment section on YouTube that there's you can look at Psalms 137, Obadiah chapter 1, Jeremiah chapter 49, and Ezekiel chapter 25, verses that talk about Edom. Okay? And that's what we're talking about in the 36th chapter. These were the sons of Holabama. You remember Holabama? Of course we know. Esau's wife. These were the chiefs. We looked at the sons. Now we're looking at the ones that became chiefs. Jeush, Jaalam, Korah. These were the chiefs who descended from Aholabama, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anah. So I don't know, for me, what it's telling me here is that Esau has wives, we have children, the children grow up, and some of them become tribal heads, including Amalek. Please do not forget Amalek. Because one of these days, a descendant of Amalek is going to want to wipe out the sons of Jacob / Israel, and thought they were very, very close. They were almost there. Very interesting. These were the sons of Seir, the Horite, who inhabited the land. Now you say, well, wait a minute. Where are we going? Okay, we get into verse 20. Now we're looking at the original occupants of that land before Esau showed up, and it become the land of the Edomites. Okay? And you say, okay, well, why, what? Okay, let's read it for a little bit, and then, okay. So Seir was already living in that place around the Dead Sea before Esau showed up. So when we get to verse 20, it says these were the sons of Seir, the Horite, who inhabited the land. Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, Dishon, and Dishan. Okay? These were the chiefs of the Horites, the son of Seir in the land of Edom. So were the Horites, was that what? No, it was the Moabites. Okay, so apparently this dude already lived here before Esau showed up. What is that going to cause? Let's go back to our original. It's going to cause more mixture. You know, this, ladies, we need to be super cautious about mixture. Here's, I believe it's 1 John, who says, "Love not the world nor the things of the world, for if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you." 1 Corinthians chapter 3 talks about the carnal. Happy New Year to you, Andrea. Was Tommy out shooting the gun last night? These were the sons of Esau, who was Edom, okay? These were the sons of Seir, verse 20, the Horite, who inhabited the land. And there's all of his sons. Even a couple of them, that one was Dishon and one was Dishan. These were the chiefs of the Horites, the son of Seir, the land of Edom. So what they did is that they coexisted in that area together after Esau, Edom, moved his flocks and his possessions outside of Canaan land because there was, not enough for the blessings that were coming, but it causes mixture. Ladies and gentlemen, one of these days, and people get all wiggy about this one here, one of these days, Joshua's going to bring them into the land, and God is going to say, get rid of them. Push them out of the land. Why? Because we don't want to have this Edomite, Horite thing going on and the mixture that's going on. And you need to understand about mixture. We need to be careful with it in our lives. Well, Andrea, I was there about 18 minutes, if I remember correctly, after you. Tommy's getting old. Yeah. Okay, so we have the sons of Seir. The sons of Lotan, one of the sons of Seir, were Horai and Hemim. Lotan's sister was Timnah. These were the sons of Shobal, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, Onam. These were the sons of Zibeon. So we're looking at the genealogy of the Horites that were going to intermarry with the sons and daughters of Edom. I'm trying to call them Edom more so you understand and make sure that you put them both together. Edom, Esau. Edom, Esau. These were the sons of Zibeon. Ajath, and then we're having kids. Anah, who found the water in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of his father Zibeon. Well, man, Anah was known, by finding water in the wilderness. That was big time. Say, we're going to remember you for the rest of your life because you found the water, man. And now we can take our donkeys out over there, and there's water out in the wilderness because before we didn't take them out there. Who knows what we found out there in the wilderness? These were the children of Anah, Dishon, and Holabama, the daughter of Anah. These were the sons, it's a little repetitious there. These were the sons of Dishon, Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Cheran. These were the sons of Ezer, Bilhan, Zaavan, Achan. These were the sons of Dishan, Uz, and Aran. Have we ever come across an Uz? Son of Aram, grandson of Shem. Okay. Yeah, there was an Uz in the past. These were the chiefs of the Horites. Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief. Now, okay, so once again, the same way that we saw Esau's sons and grandsons move into the land and become chiefs. First of all, we identified them as sons of, and then now we say some of them became chiefs, became big shots in their time. That's where verse 20, and these are the Horite chiefs that were there. These were the chiefs of the Horites, Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief Anah, Chief Dishon, Chief Ezer, Chief Dishan. These were the chief of the Horites according to their chiefs in the land of Seir. And the land of Seir was going to be one that Esau was going to start living there, and before you know it, You don't know who a Horite is and who a Edomite is, because they're all one. The mixture continues. Bob Coughlin here on 90.3.
Immortal, invisible, God only wise, in light inaccessible, hid from our eyes. Most holy, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, your great name we praise. Unresting, unhasting, and silent as light, not wanting or wasting, you rule us in might. Your justice like mountains high soaring above, your clouds which are fountains of goodness and love. Most holy, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, your great name we praise. All life comes from you, Lord, to both great and small. In all life you live, Lord, the true life of all. We blossom and flourish, but quickly grow frail. We wither and perish, but you never fail. Most holy, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, your great name we praise. You are holy, you are worthy to be praised. God Almighty, you're victorious. Great Father of glory, pure Father of light, your angels adore you, all veiling their sight. All praise we will render, O Father of grace, till one day in splendor we see face to face. Most holy, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, your great name we praise. Most holy, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, your great name we praise. Your great name we praise. Your great name we
Well, good morning, Las Vegas. You're listening to KLYN 90.3 FM, and good morning to our Facebook and YouTube people that are listening, watching, and maybe even commenting on this Thursday, the first day of January 2026. And don't start getting into calendars. Don't start getting into calendars, because we're doing some homework on different. Do you know there's different calendars? Do you know where we got our calendar from? Do you know that the Pharisees, ask George, he'll tell you all about it. The Pharisees and Sadducees had a calendar. The Essenes had their own calendar. We have our own calendar, and we say, and just because we have our own calendar, just because we say today's the first day of the year, the Hebrew people are kind of looking at you, say, "Oh, you guys, that's so new, man. It hasn't even matured yet. That one yet. We got ours." And then somebody else will say, "Well, yeah, we got ours, but you don't have the right. Anyway, talking about calendars is what we're in, but we have to get into where we are all about. And Joe Gentry is right. They're all mixed up. They're all mixed up. So prayer and input line, klyn903@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of us, that's a good way of getting a hold of us. All right, so we have our dictionary panel unencumbered right now. So if we need it before we go any further, okay. Another way you can do it is that you can go to right there and you can put in the topic that you want to put in. Let's see, dictionary. Let's see. Let me go to Smith's instead of that one, and we could put in Amalek, and it would tell us a little bit about Amalek. Now you can read it. Okay, son of Eliphaz by his concubine, and the Amalekites are going to come in later. And International Standard Bible Encyclopedia give us a little bit more. Encyclopedia, this dude, if you download that one on eSword, going to give you a ton of stuff about Amalek. Okay, so just setting it out there for you. Now, these were the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the children of Israel. Okay, so let me zero that out a little bit because I know some of you are reading that and distracted, and I'll try to help you out there. These were the kings who reigned in the land of Edom. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom. The name of the city was Dinhabah. Bela died. Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his place. When Jobab died, Husham, the land of the Temanites, reigned in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, the son of Bedad, who attacked Midian, the field of Moab, reigned in his place. This is the name of his city, was Avith. When Hadad died, so it's giving you, baby, all of these names of kings. Let's go back to verse 31. Okay, who reigned over before any king reigned over the children of Israel. So the Edomites are going to have kings. Not only do they have chiefs, but from there it began to develop into kings. And Bela, I guess, if I'm reading this right, was the first king. Okay? He reigned in Edom. And when he died, wait. Son of Beor. Okay, Bela, yeah. Bela was king, and Jobab, the son of Zerah, reigned in his place when Bela died, and it goes on and give you the genealogy. But watch this. Before any king reigned over the children of Israel. So as we're getting close to the end of the chapter and getting close to ending, oh my God, not that very close. I might have to read this real quick so we can get it finished off. But let's talk about kings. Before any king reigned in Israel, we are not going to see kings in Israel until the time of Saul. And what happened in the time of Saul? The people, we have a vote, and we want a king. What kind of a king did they want? Remember, the people God comes to Samuel and says, these people want a king. Samuel said, well, I'm not real happy with this whole thing about a king. And God says, neither am I, but give it to them anyway. But wait. Samuel, just give it to them. They want a king like all the people around them. It's, and he says, it's not you that they're refusing. It's me that they don't want to be under my authority. Now, we can have a king, but we have to realize that the king has to be under the King of Kings. And if he's not underneath the King of Kings, he's in the mixture and in darkness is when he was at. So there's a lot to be said about, where were we in verse, when we talked about Verse 31, before any king reigned over the children of Israel. It would be generations before Israel would have a king, and that's when Solomon came. That's when David came. No, Saul, David, Solomon, Rehoboth, and the split, okay, in northern and southern king, it's going to turn into a mess. So we'll be there one of these days, and this is kind of setting it up. So let's finish off the chapter, and we talked about all the different descendants, the kings. When Bela died, Jobab came over. When Jobab died, Husham took over. When Husham died, Hadad took over. All of these things. When Hadad died, Samlah of Makresh, reigned in his place. Masrekah reigned in his place. So you see the succession of the lines of the kings in Edom. And they're growing. They're prospering. God said you're going to have the dew of heaven, but you're also going to live by the sword. And you know what they say about living by the sword. When Samlah died, Saul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his place. Different Saul. Please don't get too excited about that one. When Saul died, Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, reigned in his place. When Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, died, Hadar reigned in his place, and the name of his city was Pau. His wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. So, according, I guess, this Baal, maybe that's why, because his name was Baal. You know, Baal was the name of a not so godly god. You know, one of those counterfeit gods. Looks like the real deal, but he wasn't the real deal. Baal. Now we're getting really bold and brash by putting our name, as Baal. Hanan. So he's declaring that Baal, who is going to be one of the chief enemies of Yahweh, in his name. And just things that we're learning as we're going along here. And these were the names of the chiefs, verse 40, names of the chiefs of Esau, according to their families and their places. So now we're back to Esau. We're not looking at the Edomites now. We're looking back. We're looking back at the Edomites. These were the names of the chiefs of Esau according to their families and their places by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Jetheth, Chief Aholabama. Who took his mama's name? Is that what he did? Or his great-grandma's name or something like that? Chief Elah, there's one that we can understand. Chief Pinon. No, that's not Pinon. Pinon or whatever they talked about it, but we can put a little bit of twist on that. Chief Kenash, Chief Teman, Chief Mizbar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Imram. I think we're going to see about Imram, and that name's not going to die that easy. These were the chiefs of Edom according to their dwelling places in the land of their possession. Esau was the father of the Edomites. So this is about the third time at least that they make you aware about the connection between the name Esau and Edom. And Esau was the first Edomite, and then it was his sons and his grandsons and tribes and all kinds of kings and everything that comes along with it. So don't forget about Amalek. Don't forget that the mixture that Esau is going to allow to come into is going to produce an Amalek. An Amalek in his time, the Amalekites in their time, not Amalek personally, but the Amalekites in their time are going to be building places, where they hang people. What do they call those? They hang people, and they're going to say, "Ooh, let's get rid of all of these. Let's push them from the river to the sea. Let's get rid of them, and that's the spirit of Amalek." You see that alive in your world today, and churches. You make a choice. pastors, leaders, individual Christians, you make a choice. What side are you going to be on? Are you going to allow them to push them the same way that these guys were going to want to push? Anyway, tomorrow, we're going to switch the page. I'll put my bookmark on it right there to chapter 37, and we're going to start looking at Joseph more than we're going to be looking at Jacob. Jacob's still alive. Jacob's still around. Jacob's still kicking. Okay? Verse 1 says, and we'll be here tomorrow, Jacob dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. Okay? But Joseph is going to be the guy that we're going to start checking out more and more. We're going to start looking at Joseph. That's kind of the branch in the tree that is going to start growing strength. Esau was a branch off of Isaac. So was Jacob a branch. And Jacob's branch was stronger than Esau's branch when it comes down to the king and his purposes in our life. I'm talking about the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So we'll start looking at Joseph. It's going to get really interesting. So if genealogy was boring to you, it's behind us. It's in the rearview mirror. See you guys all tomorrow. Thank you on this first day of 2026 of hanging with me here on the early morning program. It's a pleasure to be with you every morning.
Aleluya, dice su palabra en el Salmo 18, versículo 32.